Chapter 1. The possibility of harmonious coexistence of management, productivity, and quality. For a change, management needs some elementary understanding of science, particularly the nature of variance and operational definitions. Several examples from industry show how failing to grasp the two types of variation, unique causes of variability, and common causes, as well as operational definitions, leads to loss and demoralization. As American businessman William E. Conway puts it, productivity metrics are like accident statistics. They warn you that there is an issue, yet they do little to prevent accidents. This summary aims to increase productivity rather than simply quantify it. Quality and output, according to American folklore, are mutually exclusive. You can't have both. It's generally either one or the other. From experience, several plant managers discover that when quality is prioritized above quantity, they fall short in output, and when higher output is the focus, quality drops. Any management that desires transformation must make a long-term commitment to new learning and a fresh mindset. It would be inaccurate to give you the idea that nothing is happening, but the reality is that executives in various firms are working to cure illnesses that affect the American industry, and significant outcomes have already been recorded. Quality improvement redirects wasted personnel hours and machine time towards the creation of better products and services. As a result, there's a chain reaction. Cheaper expenses, a stronger competitive position, happier employees, more employment, and so on. These productivity techniques will not only benefit startups, full-fledged businesses, and entrepreneurial efforts, but will also improve your personal life. So come along as we discover some hidden productivity secrets together. Chapter 2. Various dimensions of industrial transformation down cultural lines. In reality, Japan had a negative net value in 1950. Lacking oil, coal, iron ore, copper, manganese, and even timber as they are now. Furthermore, Japan has a well-deserved reputation for low-cost, high-quality consumer goods. In exchange for food and equipment, Japan must export commodities. Only excellence would be able to win this war. This struggle to pursue excellence was a challenging issue for Japan's senior management, but it was still their job. In contrast to the Japanese reality, some diseases plague industries of Western economies. Most prominent among these diseases are a lack of commitment to developing products and services that would find a market and keep the firm afloat, an emphasis on short-term goals, the absence of regular performance evaluations, merit ratings, and annual reviews, a constant turnover of management, the reliance of management only on available statistics while ignoring the unknown, out-of-control medical expenses. To reverse the fall of Western industry and move it upward, the management style of the West must alter. But first, the problem must be recognized, followed by action, which is the responsibility of management. There is now a management theory for increasing quality, productivity, and competitiveness that eliminates the need for arguing that there is nothing to learn about management. Students in a business school now have a standard by which to evaluate the curriculum available to them. Is the school making an effort to provide a curriculum that addresses today's issues, or is it showing signs of obsolescence? Obsolescence does not have to be planned. It might simply appear. Remember, profits in the short term are not a good measure of managerial performance. Dividends might be paid by delaying maintenance, eliminating research, or acquiring another business. But it's not enough for senior management to commit to quality and productivity for the rest of their tenure. They must understand what they committed to. In other words, what they must accomplish. These responsibilities cannot be outsourced. Management's action is necessary, not just their support. Chapter 3. A rendition of the 14 points of management. The 14 points are the foundation for industrial transformation, initially discovered in Japan before appearing in the United States. Adoption and implementation of the 14 principles show that management is committed to staying in business and protecting investors and employees. Productivity is guided by certain principles. Hard work alone will not suffice. Remember, humans from the Stone Age were hard-working. The 14 points of management are: 1. Create a sense of purpose for improving product and service to become more competitive, stay in business, and create employment. 2. Adopt the new mindset. Western management must see the threat, understand its duties, and assume leadership in this new area of economic development. 3. Incorporate quality into the product from the start to eliminate the requirement for a mass inspection. 4. Put an end to the practice of awarding contracts based on price. Instead, try to keep the entire cost as low as possible by moving toward a single provider based on long-term allegiance and trust. Number 5. Improve the manufacturing and service system continuously and progressively to scale quality and productivity while lowering costs. Number 6. Implement on-the-job training. Number 7. Institute management. The goal of supervision should be to assist people, machines, and devices in doing better. Number 8. Remove fear from the workplace so that everyone can work efficiently for the firm. Number 9. Dismantle the boundaries that exist between departments. For example, people in research, design, sales, and production must collaborate to anticipate production and usage issues with the product or service. Number 10. Remove slogans, exhortations, and objectives for the workforce, such as zero faults and higher productivity levels. Such lectures exacerbate antagonistic relationships, as most of the causes of low quality and productivity are systemic and beyond the worker's control. Number 11. Eliminate the work quota on the manufacturing floor. Leadership can be substituted, so getting rid of management by goal is a good idea. Number 12. Remove obstacles that deny hourly workers, engineers, and management their right to pride and joy. Number 13. Implement a comprehensive education and self-improvement program. Number 14. Put everyone in the organization to work on the transition, as everyone is responsible for it. Chapter 4. Consumers, leadership, and organizations have roles to play in the improvement of quality and productivity. The development of a consumer's judgment for various types of products and services might take many years. For example, a year from the date of purchase, the buyer of a new car can provide you with a more helpful appraisal of the automobile's quality than they could when it was new. To plant managers, quality is getting the figures right and adhering to the rules. Whether they realize it, their responsibilities also include continuous process improvement and leadership development. Keep in mind, customer preference research aims to tailor the product to the audience rather than the other way around, as in advertising. The public contributes to product design and service delivery through communication between the manufacturer, the user, and the future user. It provides them with more cost-effective products and services that are better tailored to their demands. One may call it democracy in industry. On the other hand, consumers can seldom predict what new product or service would be attractive and helpful in 3 years or 10 years. Knowledge, imagination, invention, risk, trial and error on the other side of the producer, supported by adequate cash to develop the product or service and survive in business during the lean months of introduction, are how new products and services are created, not asking the consumer. The leader also has a responsibility to enhance the system by making it feasible for everyone to accomplish a better job with more pleasure. Therefore, it is critical to train new employees to perform successfully from their first day. Did you know, according to the Economic Policy Institute, from 1948 through 1979, the ratio between productivity and wages grew at a similar pace, 108% compared to 93%. But a 70% increase in productivity was followed by wages growing by only 12% from that point on. Chapter 5. Consistency and efficacy of operational definitions is the pathway to establishing standards and regulations. Clean means one thing at a restaurant when it comes to dishes, knives, and forks, and another when manufacturing computer hard disks or transistors. Therefore, someone in business or government cannot afford to be shallow in their grasp of product performance requirements, pharmaceuticals, or human endeavors. Principles of the theory of knowledge, frequently dismissed as trivial or frivolous in pure science and textbooks on administration and management, become alive and severe to the person confronted with industrial issues. As a result, meaning begins with the idea that exists only in someone's mind, ineffable. Any term, prescription, instruction, specification, measure, attribute, rule, legislation, system, or edict has only one communicative meaning: the record of what happens when a particular action or test is performed. As a result, an operational definition gives a notion of communicative meaning. But good, dependable, uniform, round, weary, safe, unsafe, unemployed, and other adjectives have no informative meaning unless articulated in operational terms of sample, test, and criteria. By extension, an operational definition is one with which individuals may do business. Therefore, an operational definition of safe, round, dependable, or any other quality must be communicated with the same meaning to the vendor, purchaser, and production worker yesterday and today. Remember, as a measuring standard is changed, accuracy changes, hence, standards can vary relatively. It is impossible to allow repeated violations of laws to occur without escalating the state of chaos and damaging the public conscience. As a result, the nature of rules is to be stringent. In addition, a reference to an industry standard in a rule creates a connection that makes the regulation more effective and meaningful. For example, the focal length to diameter ratio of a lens, example 2.8, is well known. In addition, we can get a AA battery from anywhere in the world to replace the one that has just failed, though the quality of the battery may differ markedly from brand to brand. It's tough to put into words how convenient 110 volts and consistent outlets are throughout the Northern Hemisphere. A regulation cannot have a legal effect if it lacks an operational definition. Chapter 6. Improvement and Stability of Industrial Systems. It is critical for members of management to comprehend the significance of a process capability and a measurement system's capability, as well as the need for statistical control over the usage of instruments and gauges. They must also comprehend that adjusting an instrument to a standard should be based solely on statistical evidence. However, management must also comprehend that leadership targeting people who are below average in output or above average in errors is incorrect, inefficient, and expensive to the company. On a textile production line, it's vital to remember that the production cost for rags and higher quality items is the same, but the profit is in the higher quality items. Supervisors frequently make the mistake of over-adjusting when they bring an error or flaw to the notice of one of their employees without first ensuring that the employee was the one who made the error. If anyone adjusts a stable process to try to compensate for a result that is undesirable, or for a result that is extra good, the output that follows will be worse than if he had left the process alone. William J. Lotzko. It's worth noting that when a program of action on the 14 points and the eradication of lethal diseases and barriers is initiated by management, the progress curve follows the same trajectory as the one depicted for the first few months, or even as far back as 2 years. The distinction is that the quality and productivity development curve does not plateau with a good plan. On the contrary, improvement will continue as long as management is in charge of the program. Chapter 7. Optimization of potentials for quality and productivity improvement. Defects can occur on a production line, such as when an excellent item is installed incorrectly or when a pair of wires is crisscrossed. It may also happen when a finished or partially finished product is damaged during haulage. Knowledge is a national resource in any country. Unlike rare materials which cannot be replaced, education may expand the supply of knowledge in any sector. Formal education school is one option, and the alternative is casual, such as studying at home or on the job with work and review under a master. Remember, a firm must make the most of its expertise and understand how to employ outside assistance when appropriate. Most firms and government organizations' efforts and techniques for improving quality and productivity are scattered, with no overarching competent guidance and no integrated framework for continuous improvement. Everyone, regardless of their profession, requires opportunities to learn and grow. People move off in various ways in a fragmented environment, ignorant of what others are doing. They don't have a chance to work in the firm's best interests or that of themselves, and they don't have an opportunity to grow. The entire world is aware of Japan's miracle that began with a concussion in 1950. Before that time, Japanese consumer products had a reputation for being poor and inexpensive worldwide. The Japanese understood the meaning of excellence. They just had not yet shifted their focus in foreign trade to quality. In 1950, Japanese quality and reliability soared, and by 1954 they had conquered markets worldwide. The dawn of a new economic era had arrived. Conclusion. A quality improvement system is beneficial to anybody who produces a product, provides service, or conducts research to enhance the quality of their work while increasing production with less labor at a lower cost. But along with manufacturing, service needs to be improved. The goal of leadership should be to enhance people and machines' performance, improve quality, raise production, and instill pride. In a negative sense, leadership's goal is not to identify and record subordinates' shortcomings but to eliminate the reasons for failure, to assist people in doing a better job with less effort. Any substantial improvement must come from action on the system, the responsibility of management. Wishing and pleading and begging the workers to do better was totally futile. Wishing and pleading and begging the workers to do better was totally futile. W. Edwards Deming. Establishing operational definitions is critical for achieving the required productivity and quality. To assess quality, we need to have well-defined criteria against which to measure it. These are the standards and rules that regulate the product or service in question. We can learn a lot from Japan's massive change in industry and livelihood. The answer is that senior management must be convinced that expert quality is critical and that they can transition from slug to top-notch quality. We learn and relearn our roles to attain this larger objective via conferences, and certain situations may need unlearning. In terms of personal growth, citizens may need to be entrusted with the task of self-improvement. However, management and manufacturing employees in industry must join together to ensure quality and jobs. Try this. If you have a production or service facility in your care, or one that is your entrepreneurial child, try out the following tips to improve productivity and quality. Examine your current workflow. Modernize your procedures and technologies. Commit to routine maintenance. Thoroughly train and educate employees. Organize your work area. Maintain a healthy inventory.